Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Yogaha karmasu kaushalam.
Hello, I welcome you all for today's session on marginal costing. I am Dr. Himani Sardar, working as an assistant professor with GLS JP Shah Institute of Business Administration, GLS University, Ahmedabad. The topics we are going to cover today are key factor and cost indifference point. Key factor and cost indifference point are also important components of marginal costing. Material, labor hours, machine hours, etc. are significant elements of production. In the production of several products, the business unit uses same kind of raw materials, labor hours and machine hours. In case of scarcity of any, one of them doesn't allow organization to work at maximum level of production capacity. When there is short supply of any production component, it is called as key factor. Due to key factor, maximum production does not become possible. But instead of having maximum production, determination is to be done for optimum production. In this module, first part deals with what is key factor and what is optimum production or sales mix, stages to determine optimum production or sales mix, and significance of optimum production and sales mix. Now, let us understand meaning of key factor. When component of production is in short supply or in scarcity, that respective component is considered as key factor. The determination or identification of key factor does not take place in case of production of one product. In presence of key factor, the determination of optimum production or sales mix is inevitable. Optimum production or sales mix indicates maximum profit status in presence of the key factor. When more than one products are manufactured and to know their profitability rank with each other, generally profit volume, that is PV ratio, is used. A product that has highest PV ratio will be given high rank and product which has lower PV ratio will be given lower rank. Now let us try to understand this concept with the help of illustration. The information about PV ratio of different products of a company is given. The products are X, which has a PV ratio of 42%, product Y, PV ratio is 38%, product Z, PV ratio is 58%, product A, PV ratio is 75%, product B, PV ratio is 60%, and product C, which has a PV ratio of 30%. From the viewpoint of profitability, the highest will be given to that product which has the highest PV ratio and vice versa. Now looking at the table, product A, which has PV ratio as 75%, which is highest, the profitability rank given is 1. Product B, which has PV ratio of 60%, profitability rank is given 2. Product Z, which has PV ratio of 58%, the rank is given 3. Product X, which has PV ratio of 42%, the profitability rank is given 4. Product Y, which has PV ratio of 38%, the rank is given 5. And the last, product C, which has a PV ratio of 30%, the profitability rank is given 6. However, when more than one product are produced and having existence of key factor, profitability rank determination based on PV ratio is not workable. Here, due consideration is to be given to the key factor for profitability rank of different product. In presence of key factor, to determine profitability rank, number 1, the computation of per unit contribution is required. Number 2, the effect of key factor on per unit contribution is to be checked. Number 3, finally after having incorporation of effect of key factor, product which gives highest contribution will be given highest rank. Point number 4, on the basis of rank, optimum production or sales mix will be determined. Now let us understand what is optimum production or sales mix. Optimum production or sales mix is such a combination of different product which yields highest profit within given constraints. There are different stages to be followed to determine optimum production or sales mix. Let us acquire information about these stages. Number 1, identify and compute key factor. Number 2, compute per unit contribution. Number 3, examine effect of key factor on contribution. The formula of effect of key factor is equal to per unit contribution divided by key factor. Key factor may be material, labor hours, machine hours, etc. Number 4, determination of optimum production or sales mix. After having incorporation of effect of key factor in point 3, give highest rank to that product which has the highest contribution and give rank to rest products in descending order, which is based on the contribution. Now let's take an illustration to determine optimum production or sales mix. 3 products are manufactured by X Company Limited, namely A, B and C. A similar raw material is used for all the products and only 90,000 kgs of raw material is available to the company. Now looking at the table with the particulars for products A, B and C, maximum production in units for product A is 10,000, for product B is 12,000 and for product C is 13,000. Per unit raw material in kgs required for product A is 3, for product B is 2 and product C is 5. Selling price per unit, product A is 45, product B is 42 and product C is 48. Variable cost per unit for product A is 25, product B is 32 and product C is 24. Total fixed cost is rupees 2,20,000. Now computation of optimum sales mix is to be calculated. Number 1, shortage of key factor, which is raw material. Available raw material is 90,000 kgs, less for product A 10,000 into 3 gives 30,000 kg, for product B 12,000 into 2 gives 24,000 kg, for product C 13,000 into 5 gives 65,000 kg. The total of A, B and C comes to 1,19,000 kgs, while the shortage in kilograms for the material comes to 29,000 kgs. To work at maximum level of production capacity, total 1,19,000 kgs of raw material is needed, while in the market only 90,000 kgs raw material is available. So raw material is the key factor in this case. Thus, the determination of optimum sales mix will done so that maximum profit can be earned. Point number 2, we have to calculate per unit contribution. Selling price per unit for product A is 45, product B is 42, product C is 48, less variable cost per unit, product A is 25, product B is 32, product C is 24. Now per unit contribution comes for product A is 20, B is 10 and C is 24. According to the per unit contribution, profitability rank will be given for product A is 2, B is 3 and C is 1. So rank wise, C has first rank, A has second rank and B has third rank. However, in presence of key factor, this rank is not valid. The effect of key factor is yet to be examined. Number 3, effect of key factor. Effect of key factor is calculated by per unit contribution divided by key factor. Here, raw material is the key factor. Looking at the table, per unit contribution divided by key factor for product A is 20 divided by 3, product B is 10 divided by 2 and product C is 24 divided by 5. So the per unit contribution comes of product A is 6.67, B is 5 and C is 4.8. So the profitability rank now becomes A is first, B is second and C is third. Fourth point, optimum production sales mix. Total kgs available to us is 90,000 less production of A, that is 10,000 into 3 gives 30,000. The amount left with us now is 60,000 kgs less production of B, that is 12,000 into 2 gives 24,000, and remaining for C production we are left with 36,000 kgs. To produce full production of C, 65,000 kgs are required, but only 36,000 kgs are available. Therefore, 36,000 kg divided by 5 kg per unit gives 7,200 units. Optimum sales mix for A would be 10,000, B would be 12,000 and C would be 7,200 instead of 13,000 units. Only 7,200 can be produced. Now looking at the table, contribution based rank for A was 2, B was 3 and C was 1, and the key factor based rank changed. A becomes first, B is second and C is third. Total profit under key factor can be calculated by total contribution minus fixed cost. For A, per unit contribution is 20 into 10,000 units gives 2 lakh. B, per unit contribution is 10 into 12,000 units gives 1,20,000. C, per unit contribution is 24 into 7,200 units which gives us 1,72,800. Total contribution of A, B and C comes as 4,92,800 and less fixed cost is 2,20,000. Total profit which comes to us is 2,72,800. Note, this is the best sales mix for company under the influence of key factor. No other sales mix will be able to earn profit more than 2,72,800. Thus, key factor plays a vital role in managerial decisions. Number 1, when there is no key factor influence, the goal of profit maximization can be achieved. Number 2, but when there is key factor influence, profit maximization goal is not possible, but profit optimization possible through sales mix. Now, let us understand the concept of cost indifference point. Under management accounting subject, the selection of best option is done from different available options. Example, in capital budgeting, there are 3 plans which can be implemented, but only plan is required to be selected. In this case, an appropriate technique of capital budgeting, that is payback period method, rate of return method, net present value, etc. will be applied and plan will be selected. At the same time, there can be different production methods. Number 1, machine-based production or manual production. Number 2, production by sophisticated machines or production by intermediate technology. From these kinds of possibilities, the selection of most benefited method is selected. To select best method, the concept cost indifference point is used. It is that level of production of 2 options where their total cost becomes identical. This point is important for management decision. This point helps to select best option from the given options. The formula of cost indifference point is equal to differential fixed cost divided by differential per unit variable cost. Note, both differences pertaining to costs only. Let us understand practical utility of cost indifference point through an illustration. A company has 2 options, option number 1 and option number 2. Selling price per unit for option 1 is 200, for option 2 is 180. Variable cost per unit for option 1 is 120, option 2 is 80. Fixed cost for option 1 is 1,60,000, for option 2 is 2,40,000. Sales in units is 4,000 for option 1 as well as 4,000 for option 2. Cost indifference points in unit is calculated by differential fixed cost divided by differential per unit variable cost. Cost indifference point in units is equal to 2,40,000 minus 1,60,000 divided by 120 minus 80, which gives us 80,000 divided by 40, which is equal to 2,000 units. Now confirmation for option 1 and option 2, variable cost is calculated by 2,000 multiplied by 120, which gives us 2,40,000, and option 2, 2,000 into 80, which gives us 1,60,000. Fixed cost for option 1 is 1,60,000 and for option 2 is 2,40,000. The total cost comes for option 1 is 4 lakh and for option 2 is also 4 lakh. In this question, cost indifference point is at 2,000 units. Which option should be selected is based on the requirement of the company. Break-even point and cost indifference point are different from each other. A point where in an individual case, sales line and total cost line intersects is break-even point. A point where total cost line of two different options intersect is cost indifference point. Significance of cost indifference point. Here CIP is 2000 units, but when BEP, that is break even point, will be calculated, in option 1 it will be 2000 units and in option 2 it will be 2400 units. Option 1 has CIP and BEP identical, while under option 2 BEP is 2400, which is greater than CIP 2000. Option 1 has lower BEP, that is 2000 units, than that of BEP 2400 of option 2. Option 1 is considered to be appropriate during recession period because operating risk is lower in this option, but at the same time lower operating risk generate lower return. In brief, option 1 can be used during recession period. Option 2 should be used during boom period because it has higher operating risk and consequently higher return degree of operating risk is determined through operating leverage. Higher the operating leverage, higher the operating risk and higher the return and vice versa. Now, computation of operating leverage is to be seen for option 1 and option 2. Sales for option 1 is 200 into 4000, which gives 8 lakh. For option 2 is 180 into 4000, which gives 7,20,000. Variable cost for option 1 is 120 into 4000, which gives 4,80,000, and for option 2 is 80 into 4000, which gives 3,20,000. Contribution, which is point A minus point B, for option 1 is 3,20,000 and for option 2 is 4 lakh. Fixed cost for option 1 is 1,60,000 and for option 2 is 2,40,000. Earning before interest and tax, that is EBIT, which is calculated by C point minus D point. For option 1 it is 1,60,000 and for option 2 also it is 1,60,000. So the operating leverage can be calculated by contribution divided by EBIT. In option 1 it is 3,20,000 divided by 1,60,000, which gives us the ratio of 2:1, while in option 2 it's 4 lakh divided by 1,60,000, which gives us a ratio of 2.5:1. Here operating leverage of option 1 is 2:1 and of option 2 is 2.5:1. The operating leverage of option 2 is higher than option 1. So option 2 is riskier than option 1. So cost indifference point is used to take managerial decision for selection of best option for recession conditions and boom condition. The summary of the topic: key factor and cost indifference point under marginal costing plays important role for managerial decision. In this module we have discussed about number 1, shortage of production component as a key factor. Number 2, importance of key factor, optimum production or sales mix, stages to determine optimum production or sales mix. Number 3, importance of optimum production or sales mix. And in the second stage of this module, the points we have covered are cost indifference point, selection of one production out of two plants with the help of CIP, and significance of CIP. Thank you.